Hello and welcome to End or N-Gauge Model Railway. I'm Jonathan. This video shows how I fitted a DCC decoder to a Dapol N-Gauge Class 27. First things first, a read of the instructions, which with respect to removing the body says, simply pull body away from chassis. I've read that before in manuals. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. If my model is typical, then these instructions are somewhat lacking and are written very lazily. What you do know from this phrase in the manual is that you don't need to be removing screws or other pieces, but I often find that body removal is far from simple. It's one of the reasons I've decided to make these short videos. Trying to prise the body away with my fingers didn't work. It just detached the bottom part of the chassis and the wheels, but the main part of the chassis remained in the body. The picture in the instructions shows that this is not what we're aiming for. The main part of the chassis still wouldn't come out from the body, even with a good bit of shaking. I tried using some pliers to coax the chassis out, but they slipped a couple of times and I was worried about causing damage. What worked for me in the end was to slide some fairly rigid plastic between the chassis and body on both sides. It would have been helpful if the instructions had said something like this would be necessary. The plastic I used is the sleeve from some spare picot points. The blanking plug pulled off easily. This is a Next 18 socket. I find them much easier to use than the 6-pin sockets. I fitted a Dapol Imperium to Next 18 decoder. I couldn't see any markings that show which way around the socket should go, but there was only one way that it would fit in the space. It clipped in easily. The chassis pushed back into the body easily. At this point I noticed I had oil on my fingers, probably because the bottom part of the chassis was off, so it's worth trying to keep that part on if you can. The bottom part of the chassis clipped back on, as did the bogies. Bye bye for now.